Well, hello you gorgeous mother truckers, you, and welcome to another video. We're out in the garden for a change. It's a lovely day here in the UK, so why not? It's the UK I wish to talk about. I did a video a couple of videos ago talking about the fact that the government is promising to pay 5 years of guaranteed rent to private landlords if they rent out their houses to illegal immigrants. And the other flip side of that, of course, is the fact that they're also going to insist that they flood the social housing market with said immigrants. Now, the issue with that is, of course, is the fact that that bill then comes the council's responsibility. And if you look where they've recommended that these illegals be sent out, you can see it's into working class areas, and we all know the reason why, because if they can keep the issues away from the middle class, then nothing will happen. Because until the middle class get involved, until the middle class get impacted massively by the stuff that you and I are having to deal with on a regular basis, nothing's going to happen. So they're going to just keep pouring them into working class areas. It's also the working class that they wish to crush. And remember, we've spent years and years and years destroying the family unit, destroying the sense of community. I mean, here I happen to know my neighbours, but that's who I am, but not all of the neighbours. And they don't want this community. They don't want us to have this sense of community, because when you have a sense of community, you stick together. When you stick together, you become a problem. This is another reason why our hospitality industry has been hammered so much on our pubs, because they don't want us getting together in an environment like a pub where we can have a chat, have a discussion, and not be monitored. Even though they're bringing in that bill where staff can complain about what people are talking about. We live in a world, apparently a country of free speech, of which we're proud of, says Keir Starmer. Yet at every turn we get our free speech impinged. I mean, I've just covered the Royal Marine being attacked and silenced because of what he is saying and reflecting the general feeling of other Marines. You have people like Lucy Connolly, who's in prison for a tweet which she, in the heat of the moment and passion, put up 2 hours later, took down, apologised for, but no, she's in prison. Yet it's all right for other, shall we say, different minorities to do criminal offences, apologise, and that's fine. It's fine that we have thousands of PDFs who just get community orders, because that's what it's all about. It's all about deliberately destabilising us, splitting us apart. I mean, the vast majority of LGBTQ plus alphabet spaghetti activism is about destroying the family unit. It's all part of this plan. Now, the problem is, of course, is when we get to a stage where the area's social housing gets taken over by immigrants, the council has to pay for this. And it's going to cost a lot more to put people in private housing and social housing than, believe it or not, it is to keep them in hotels. Ideally, they all should be deported, and we all agree on that, I think, pretty much. Those of you who watch this channel do. I'm sure I'll get somebody in the comments who disagrees. That's your opinion. You're an idiot, but that's your opinion. Because if you can't see what's going on, you're clearly middle class, and it clearly doesn't impinge your life or impact your life. And one of these days, on one of these videos, I'm going to take you for a walk down the Coventry Road, which is not far from where I live, and I'll even go into Small Heath area and show you the impact that multiculturalism has on this wonderful country of ours. Now, the other impact, of course, is that with this sudden influx of people who now have to be paid for, your council tax will go up again and again and again and again until it comes to a stage where you won't be able to pay for it. Because let's be brutally honest, up in Bradford, the council tax has gone up as big as it is, and everybody goes, oh, that's a majority Boglim area. But of course, that's because most of the Boglims just don't pay it. That's how it works. So eventually you get to a stage where either a lot of people aren't paying their council tax, or they just can't afford it anymore, and your council services will collapse. And if you like to get a Birmingham in every, and I mean like in a rat-infested shit tip, which I think is quite funny because people go on about that and, oh, it's terrible, it's this, and look at the state of the street. Small Heath and all those areas look like that every day, any case. You can go back on people's videos 5-6 months ago, I've seen plenty of examples showing you the horrendous state of Birmingham streets. So all this does is just a little bit more rubbish on top of the shithole that it already is. But imagine that 10 times over. Imagine that where your roads are collapsing because your council has no more money because it's having to spend it all on accommodating people who shouldn't be here. Crime is already on the rise. Our police force is being weakened on purpose and politicised into becoming a bunch of stormtroopers imposing government will on you. You can see what's coming. There'll be a complete collapse, and in 10 years' time, Birmingham will be like Islamabad, Coventry will be like Beirut and Baghdad. It's just going to be horrendous. There's going to be rubbish everywhere. There's going to be disease. There's going to be mass murders, rapes, robberies, shops closed. It's just going to be horrendous. But unfortunately, or fortunately for the socialist government in charge, who hate you, they hate us all, is the fact that it's not affecting the middle class too much at the moment. So they'll continue to sit watching their pointless shit on the telly, sticking their fingers in their ears and singing la 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 as loud as they can because it doesn't bother them. And until it does, nothing will change. Until it does, people like myself and others will be attacked, ridiculed, pressure applied, and it will happen. Eventually it will happen. All of us who are on YouTube doing things like this, or those of us speaking out, it will happen. Yes, Captain Meow, how are you? I agree. Even my Captain Meow agrees with this all. It's all going to go wrong. And then eventually, as Captain Meow introduces herself to the table, it'll all go massively wrong. Hello, mate. You all right? Yeah. Good cat. Yeah. He's going to lie down there. If you're wondering, I mean, that there we go. There's Captain Meow. Yeah, all good. You happy? Yeah. I think with Captain Meow's interference, we'll just bring this one to a close. Things aren't going to be good. Things are only going to get worse. And until people start to realise that and start to come together as communities to fight against it, the collapse is inevitable. And the potential of what no one really wants will happen. And you know what I'm on about. I mean, things is, why don't you say civil war? Why don't you say this? It's because there's two reasons. One, I don't want it. No one does. But two, think about the current environment that I live in the United Kingdom, and saying such things would be, well, a prison sentence, wouldn't it? Any case, two videos coming up at the end of this. One will be the last one I uploaded. The other one will be the one that the gods of YouTube, with its mighty algorithm, will have selected just for you. It's called The Chosen One. If you agree with what I'm saying, just hit the subscribe button. You can like. Please share. Right-wing video of right-wing. Anyone who isn't left-waffer, the videos are being suppressed. We're being shadow banned. We're getting everything thrown at us. Comments being removed and all those sort of things. The only way these videos get out to more people is to share them. And once we share, once we like, once we comment, if you can get a comment through, helps the algorithm might start to push the videos. They're not pushing my videos at all now. My videos a couple of months ago were getting an average of 1,000 views. I'm lucky if I can get 250 now. and I haven't changed anything. It is the beast that we live in. But the more they do that, the more I know I'm right, and the more I know I'm over the target. Any case, enough of that. I'm done. So, until the next one.
It's an arrow at the bottom.